Let me just start this off by saying that I do not want to be making this video right now. If you guys don't know, I have been one of the biggest advocates of Gala Games in the entire world. I've put over $200,000 directly into Gala Games NFTs purchased off of their store. I have referred around $5 million into the ecosystem directly from this YouTube channel. But Gala Games has increasingly been making greedy decisions that aren't good for the community. And after I pointed this out, they have turned vindictive and they have just banned my Gala Games accounts so that I couldn't withdraw my earnings from the last Mirandus playtest. So there's a lot to get into here. I have made a long slideshow that we're going to go through that explains everything that's gone down, and you guys can make your own decisions. But just so you know, I had literally decided I wasn't gonna make any more videos on Gala. I had privated every single video I've ever made on Gala, including the negative ones, and haven't been uploading videos for like the past several weeks because I have moved on to my startup Magic Book. But after they did this, and not only screwed me, but also screwed my brother and friend who put in multiple hours on multiple days to earn this Materium, I said, okay, this is enough and the community deserves to know. So this is a tweet that I made saying, I've sent 5 support messages without response over the past 2 weeks after Gala deleted my accounts I played Mirandus playtest on, so I couldn't withdraw my earned Materium from killing golems with my exemplars. WTF is going on with this company? So let's take a step back and start at the beginning here. So if you guys don't know, there was recently a Mirandus playtest. Mirandus is the flagship MMORPG that Gala Games is launching. It's a game that I thought was going to be a player-owned decentralized economy that Gala would take a very small tax out of, and it would be just like a second life, like a new country where people could have commerce and make money and make friends and play games, and it would just be super fun. But it turns out this isn't really the way that things are headed. But the playtest, Mirandus announced that they were going to be giving away 1 million Materium. And this is the important part right here. Players who kill a goblin will be eligible to receive an equal share of the remaining 750,000 Materium pool, up to $500 USD max to avoid KYC. So essentially, every single exemplar that you own, which exemplars are very expensive, they're hundreds of dollars to thousands of dollars, and with each exemplar that you kill a golem with, you earn a share of the 1 million Materium playtest. But they wanted to avoid KYC, so said each account can only earn $500. Well, this is a massive problem for me because I've put over $10,000 into Mirandus exemplars. Just off of this page, well, I'm just going to click through. You can see I own a lot of exemplars. These even aren't all of them, but yeah, I own a ton of exemplars. So I knew that I was going to hit this $500 max, and the majority of the NFTs that I've purchased wouldn't be able to participate in the earnings. So I reached out to my brother and one of my friends, and I was like, hey, can I send some of my exemplars to your guys' accounts so that you guys can play with my exemplars so that all of my exemplars can earn as it should be? And actually, Gala since walked back that max thing, but it was after the playtest was already over. So after the playtest was over, they actually, when they said they wanted to avoid it, KYC, they're like, Mayhem, KYC rewards. File a ticket with the CS team. The type of ticket should be Mirandus Mayhem rewards. The CS team will generate a link for you to provide information. Once submission is greenlit, your account will receive the rewards in the next week. So they were like, actually, after the playtest was already over, they're like, actually, no, all NFTs should be able to earn. All exemplars should be able to earn. That's the way that it should be. And they got a bunch of community blowback by saying that you could only earn 500 each. But this was after the playtest was already over, after I had already spread my exemplars around so that all of them could earn. But I thought here, I actually misunderstood this. I thought that to get any earnings, you needed to provide KYC. So I actually provided, I sent a KYC message to Gala support. I don't think I did anything wrong. I still don't think I've done anything wrong. And I said, hi, I moved my exemplars to a bunch of different accounts as to not max out the rewards, but I think the last announcement says you guys want KYC on every payout. Here are all the addresses I earned Materium on in the last playtest. So each of these accounts, I put 20 exemplars on, which is around the number of exemplars I thought might max out the $500 rewards. And they responded, hi, Jacob, thanks for reaching out to Gala support. Upon review, it looks like you have received your rewards for May Mayhem. So you don't need to provide any KYC. Have a great day. And I was like, okay, awesome. That's really great. Until things turned vindictive. So then I sent this message. Hey Mel, trying to sign into my above referenced Gala accounts linked to the wallets above to access the Materium we farmed, and it looks like the Gala accounts no longer exist. We saved our emails and passwords when creating our accounts, but they aren't working. Did someone disable my Smurf accounts so we can't get our farm Materium from our treasure chest? What is the fix? Thanks for your help, Jake. And after a few days, there was no response to this. So I was like, hey, it looks like my response to the last query started a new ticket. So here are the emails of the accounts my team can no longer access in case the context was lost. And here I thought like there was some error or something, but it continued. So then I sent a number of more response. I can give you usernames as well. We have all of our passwords, but since they aren't working, we tried some password resets and we aren't receiving any emails, which makes me assume the accounts were disabled on Gala's end, ? Appreciate the help getting this resolved. I promise my team shared earnings on all the Materium we farmed killing golems with each of my exemplars. They put in hours and hours on multiple days. Didn't get a response. 4 days ago, hello Gala support, didn't get a response in almost a week, so I'm following up on this. Can we get our accounts back so I can pay my team their earned Materium? I paid tens of thousands of dollars for my exemplars. If this action was singling me out, then that is a bad sign for Mirandus's future as a decentralized metaverse. So I privated, before these, I privated all of my criticism, which I think all my criticism was fair. And we'll get into more of that. But I privated all those videos because I'm like, you know what? I don't need to be the one. I don't need to be the police. Like if the Gala ecosystem is good, it's going to succeed long term. If it's not good, people are going to figure it out with or without me. So I just privated all of my videos. And I said, I don't want to do a video about this after I decided to move on and removed all my negative Gala content. But now I'm even considering selling my 2% stake in Materium. Let me know what's going on. Hoping for the best, Jake. No response. So 3 days later, I said some communication would be great. Thanks. And still no response. So that is when I made this tweet that I read at the beginning of this video, that I've sent 5 support messages without response. And you guys have already heard this. So I did not get any communication from Gala, but then 8-Bit Tendies shared a screenshot of what Bitbender said in Gala Gold chat, which I have Gala Gold, but I was actually removed from Gala Gold chat, so I couldn't even see this. So they're literally talking about me behind my back and won't even talk to me directly, which is just so messed up. But this is what Bitbender said. He was multi-accounting. I am not sure what needs to be addressed here. Quote, I violated the terms of service just for pure extraction. They deactivated my accounts. The temerity. Okay. All right, Bitbender. Let's get into this. So, number one, creating new accounts doesn't allow you to earn more. We just need to get that out of the way. You can only earn with owned exemplars. So creating 3 accounts or 1 account or sharing exemplars with my brothers, it doesn't actually increase your earnings. Your earnings are locked based on the number of exemplars that you own. So if they didn't have this arbitrary $500 limit, there would have been no reason for me to create any more accounts because I get to earn. I should be able to, at least. I actually don't get to earn anything because Gala hates me now. But I should get to earn with each of my exemplars that I own. And more accounts does not allow you to earn more. Number 2, it was an arbitrary rule that was later walked back that required me to split my exemplars between multiple accounts in the first place. Number 3, you deleted my account and my brothers and friends' accounts and refused to communicate. So they assumed they were all mine. 2 are actually the majority of them. Only 2 of them were mine. The majority of them were not even my accounts that you guys deleted. They were just accounts that I sent exemplars to so my brother and friend could help me. 4, it's not even against terms of service to have multiple accounts. I have a slide on this ahead. And then violated terms of service for pure extraction is complete bull. I have been the biggest supporter of this ecosystem in existence, and we're going to get into that as well. So I obviously read through the terms of service after Bitbender's message to just see, did I violate terms of service? And it turns out there is nothing in terms of service against having more than one account. So this is some information I could find on accounts. This is the only thing that's wrong. It says creating user accounts by automated means or under false or fraudulent pretenses is what is not allowed. So I did not create accounts by automated means, and I did not create them under false or fraudulent pretenses. And then attempting to learn sensitive account information. I didn't do that. And then later on in the disciplinary action section, which is actually very interesting on its own, just know this is not a decentralized ecosystem. Gala can dequalify users from participating in future events, can withhold or revoke any part of the points and prizes awarded to the user, like they did with me, even after I've put so much into this ecosystem. Terminate all licenses granted to the user for Gala games. So that means they can just revoke your node license after you paid 20 grand for it arbitrarily. And then listen to this. Terminate all Gala Games accounts that are held by a user. So this assumes that you can have more than one account in the terms of service. It says that they can terminate all the Gala accounts held by a user, assuming that you can have more than one account. So yeah, that's just absolutely crazy. Nowhere in the terms of service does it say that a user cannot have more than one account. So moving on, these are now messages. This is a message that I sent to Bitbender directly in a DM after he made that post in Gala Gold, which I couldn't see because I've been kicked out of Gala Gold. Most of those accounts you guys deleted were my brothers and friends accounts who I sent exemplars to so they could earn and split the Materium with me. If you guys would talk to me, you would know that. Also, what do you expect people to do when they own over 100 exemplars before the playtest you say earnings are limited per account? Then you ask for KYC after, which I send, which is the reason you know the accounts are attached to me. Support says you're good, the accounts are under the KYC limit, and then you guys use the information to delete my 2 Smurf accounts and my brothers and friends accounts before we can withdraw the Materium we earned. I don't mind you guys, this did say, shitting on me, but that's why this is kind of awkward. Guys effing on me, but effing on my friends and brother after they put in multiple days of playing to earn with the exemplars I paid for fair and square is bull. These guys literally spent over a year editing pro Gala videos, and now they're starting to hate Gala. My brother said, should we burn all of our Gala merch? I'm going to pay them some of my Materium that I bought out of pocket because they put in so many hours. And I actually am going to pay my brother and friend Materium because they put in like several 8-hour days playing Mirandus to help me earn with all of my exemplars. And I feel bad not paying them just because Gala kicked us out. So I'm going to pay them Materium that I own so that they can still earn for the hours that they put in. And then moving on, this is another message. Also, saying I violated terms of service just for a pure extraction is complete bull, and you know it. Here are the facts. 1, Ivory Fort. So this is saying like that I'm here for pure extraction. Bitbender knows that this is not true. I have referred more customers and employees to Gala than any other person. I have sold between $4 and $5 million of Gala nodes directly. I sold over $300,000 worth of Gala film nodes directly. I have personally purchased over $200,000 of NFTs. I own 2% of the current supply of Materium, and I'm the single biggest liquidity provider for Materium on Uniswap. I own over 1% of the non-human Mirandus exemplars. I have been the biggest supporter of Mirandus in existence. Trying to make me the enemy and assuming the worst of me is extremely sad. And this has to be some type of vindictiveness. It's the only thing that I can think. So this is what Kagi said. Move on, bro. Dump it all is my opinion. So I'm actually curious. I want to know in the comments. Do you guys agree with Kagi? Should I just dump it all and move on? This is kind of that video. Unless something changes, probably over the next year or two, I am going to start selling down my Mirandus assets. Maybe I'll just hold 1 exemplar just so I can try the game when it finally releases or something. But yeah, I still do think that Materium should be higher when Miranda is released. But if I'm not welcome, then why hold 2% of the supply and literally provide half of the liquidity? And just so you guys know, I'm not lying. This is a screenshot of my account. I know that there was a lot of FUD out there saying that I dumped my Materium on the community after the video where I said I was buying 1% of Materium. Actually, no, I've just continued to add Materium. There's 17 million Materium out. I own 350,000 almost. I would have 380,000 if they hadn't deleted my account, so I couldn't get the earnings from the last playtest. But yeah, that's around 2% of the supply of Materium I literally own. And there's still people that drop the FUD comment saying I dumped on my community. I literally still own the effing Materium. So can you guys just shut it, please? Sorry, I shouldn't let it get to me. When stuff's not true, it should really just bounce off. But when it just keeps getting repeated over and over again after you try to explain yourself, it starts to get pretty infuriating. So I actually left a comment under Miranda's post. I was like, the last playtest was really fun. Sucks that my account, my brother's account, and my friend's account all got banned for trying to earn with my exemplars that I invested over 10K into, though. Has the Miranda's team considered leaving Gala? And then the Miranda's team actually hid my tweet so no one could actually see it under there. And I was like, so that actually finally was like, okay, I need to make a video. Silence in me doesn't undo it, Miranda's game. People will learn. Assets you own can only earn if you stay in the good books. This is the same exact problem Entropia Universe had, which if you guys haven't heard of that, that was like the first player-owned economy, and they ended up getting sued and stuff because people spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on assets, and then the game arbitrarily like removed them and kicked them out of the game. And I was like, well, hopefully this is on the blockchain, so it's decentralized, so they won't run into the same problems. No, they're going to run into the same problems. I will never put a thing I own on Gala Chain. Guys, if all my stuff was on Gala Chain, Gala literally could have deleted it all. Not only the stuff that was in my treasure chest, they could have deleted everything that I own if it wasn't on Ethereum. I had moved on, but Gala couldn't help itself, is kind of the perspective that I have now. So this is the video explaining what's happened. And to be very clear, I tried to resolve this one-on-one, and if they had communicated with me, this video wouldn't be going up. But I have no choice but to explain to the community what happened so that the community can make its own judgment. So there's just 2 slides left here. I'll say it, Gala Games needs a new CEO. That's my opinion. Eric is extremely greedy, and I'm afraid that it's killing Gala. As evidenced by, and I'm actually going to start with number 2. This is the first thing that really irked us. There was a node referral program that kicked back earnings to the referrer. And after we had sold most of the nodes for Gala, literally almost $5 million worth of nodes, Benefactor, who owns more nodes than anyone and controls most of the vote, like a massive voting trunk, and can control any way, like the way that all the votes go. Benefactor put it up for a community vote that he controlled himself with his own nodes to kick referrers out of the ecosystem after we raised millions of dollars so that he could earn more. Okay. Now going back to number 1, we had a really vibrant community that wanted to start a DAO, and together, which stands for Decentralized Autonomous Organization, and together buy one of the citadels. We literally worked with like a PhD and drafted an entire white paper for the DAO. And I talked with Bitbender in person at Galaverse and shared it with him. And he's like, this is a great idea. The community really should own one of the citadels. And then Eric decided to refuse to sell the Citadel to the community DAO. He decided Gala actually wants to keep the last Citadel themselves because Gala might be able to get more money from running it themselves, competing against other owners in your own market. That's what Eric wanted to do. So that was a big red flag. 3, believing an ecosystem that pays almost nothing back to players is different from the traditional gaming market. And selling NFTs for tens of thousands of dollars before telling us this fact. And I'll actually jump to this next slide just so that you know this is true. So if you guys don't know, Bitbender made a post saying that only 15% of the NFTs that get, 15% of the value of what's put into the ecosystem from purchasing NFTs is going to get paid back. And this guy said 15% of what's spent back to players seems extremely small. Can we get a breakdown of the other 85%? And Bitbender said, well, typically at least 50% goes back to the game devs as rev share, then sometimes the IP holders, then salaries, licensing, marketing, etc. People have no idea how expensive it is to run things. So Gala is only planning, like, I want this to be a fair ecosystem that, like, maybe there's a 5% tax on and the rest is just like an open economy. No, 85% of what gets put into Gala Games is getting extracted, and 15% is what is going to get paid back. And Bitbender's walked back that number a little bit, but he hasn't given any other numbers. So it's like, okay, maybe 16% is going to be paid to players. But let's go back to this. So believing that's any different from traditional gaming is just completely false. Gala is a Web 2 game ecosystem that just wants to charge tens of thousands of dollars for their items, so calls themselves Web3. That's what I think now. And then evidenced by the fact that they can just delete your account, stop your earnings. It's not decentralized. And then 4, forcing McCarthy. McCarthy is the one building Mirandus. Forcing McCarthy to sell horses, something players thought that we'd be able to sell, and they literally sold us the stables. I bought a stable for like $20,000. They sold us the stables promising we would be able to breed horses and sell the horses to the community. And then Gala's just like, actually, we're going to sell horses. So after already selling the means of production to players for tens of thousands, 20,000 for the Majestic one that I bought, Eric forces McCarthy to sell horses direct to players. And I literally bought some of those horses because they were like, oh, actually, if you don't buy the horses we're selling, then you can't even breed in your stables. Like, they've changed so much stuff and walked back so much stuff. It's like, I can't believe how many red flags I was ignoring for so long. If you don't see, so this is, once again, this is what I sent to Bitbender. If you don't see that your CEO is leading this ecosystem to the opposite of decentralized and player owned, then you're willfully keeping your blinders on. This is something that I can relate to as I looked past so many red flags while I was on the payroll. It's hard, but try to look at this situation objectively. And I really mean that from the bottom of my heart, Bitbender. Now is the last act. I spent tens of thousands on exemplars, and this, you guys already know this. My team was fired. I offered them a small earning opportunity, and even that was shut down by Big Brother, aka Gala Games. So that is it, guys. That's what happened. You guys can draw your own conclusions. But this is a warning for anyone who's holding stuff like Materium. I will likely start to become a seller over the next couple of years. I'm not going to dump it all at once. I'm not trying to crash the whole ecosystem or something. I think I literally could drive the price down by like 60, 70%. Because, well, first of all, I removed the liquidity that I was providing. So now there's almost no liquidity. And then if you sell 1% of the market cap and then another 1% of the supply, like, the coin would crash so much. But I'm going to do it slowly over time. Maybe when the price spikes or something. Man, I still really want to believe in Mirandus. It's like, it's still the closest project that's like the Ready Player One Oasis that I dreamed of, that got me excited about this space in the first place. But as long as Mirandus stays a Gala Games project and Eric stays the CEO, I just can't support the project anymore. Well, and I mean, honestly, Gala kind of forced my hand by banning me. It's like, I literally, if I wanted to, I can't support the project anymore. I can't earn in the project anymore. So yeah, I have no choice but to leave, guys. So this is, hopefully, I really hope this is going to be my last video I ever make on Gala Games. If you guys enjoyed my honesty, I know this isn't a great situation, but I would appreciate the support of a thumbs up. And when there's a good game, I'll start making videos again. Like when there's a game I actually fall in love with that I think is the type of game the ecosystem needs, that the Web3 community needs, I'll start covering it and playing it. But until then, I'm just going to be focused on my startup Magic book. You can check it out in the description. I'll have the YouTube channel for Magic Book linked below. It's a very different content. I don't think most of this audience will really care about it. But that's where my focus is going to be in the near term. And yeah, hopefully 6 months from now, a year from now, 2 years from now, we'll finally get the game that's like the Oasis and Ready Player One. And I can start making excited videos about the space again. But until then, stay safe out there, guys. There's a lot of scams out there. And I'll see you next time.